Chunla as Pennywise is one of the scariest, like, clowns I think I've ever seen.
Howdy, Meowers.
Greetings, everybody.
I'm Ubiquity.
Wow, oh my god, Ubiquity is here, finally. What a celebrity. What celebrity guest host, everybody. Ubiquity. I don't actually know if you're a celebrity. Are you a celebrity, Ubiquity? It just, your name sounds so celebratorious.
I'll let you determine that.
She's a celebrity. Okay. Cool. What are we doing today, Ubiquity? Why are we here? Why are we ever here?
We are here to give everyone some K-pop Halloween recommendations.
Oh my god, I have a couple of those.
Okay, well, don't worry. I have a good bit here, so I am going to share those. We're going to be providing recommendations in different categories, such as dance practices, music videos, stage performances, content, and more. So you can, use the chapters to skip around if you're looking for something specific. But honestly, you're probably going to want to just stay around to hear every recommendation that we have.
Yeah, because if not for the recommendations, for the humor.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, we've got some good recommendations today. And basically, like, K-pop really likes to do dance practices in costumes. So that's where, like, the bulk of my stuff is. But, like, it's quality. Like, you're going to want to see these.
Yeah.
I don't know, because dance practices are good in general.
Yeah. So let's start with the dance practices. Okay?
Woohoo!
So I will be recommending 2 dance practice videos from the boys. And that is the Steeler Halloween dance practice and Maverick Halloween dance practice.
Ooh, Steeler and Maverick.
The Steeler. I was ready to clarify that myself, just in case I made it seem like I was saying the Steeler dance practice, but I was really kind of just speaking improperly in a sense, so that I only had to say the once because it felt weird to say the Steeler dance practice. Anyway, I recommend both of those because they're really good.
I actually can't believe that I've never gotten that title right, ever. But the Steeler dance practice, is that the one where they're all, like, a lot of them have superhero costumes on?
Yes.
Because that's the one that, if I think of the boys' dance practice in a costume, like, I think of that one. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, and Q has his Angry Bird moment, which is funny.
Yeah, I love when there's, like, one person that goes, because a lot of the times we see with the dance practices, we see a lot of, store-bought / rented, like, just, like, good costumes. But when one person goes, like, hardcore, like, homemade, like, over the top, I'm just gonna go all out looking crazed. That's when you get, like, the most classic stuff. That's so funny. And Q has that.
Yeah. He has that both years, too, because the Maverick costumes, he's bringing Chucky to the table.
Oh, my God. It's always nice when you have the people that do a horror one as well. I can think of a classic horror one. Are you going to bring that up?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk about it later then.
We can talk about it right now if you want me to.
Oh, yeah, sure. Why not?
Because it is a dance practice that I recommend, if that's what you were referring to. I assume you were referring to NCT Dream's We Go Up Halloween dance practice with Chunla as Pennywise.
That is one of, like, I've never seen it. So, I don't know how scary that clown really should be. And I don't even have a fear of clowns. But Chunla as Pennywise is one of the scariest, like, clowns I think I've ever seen. Like, it's pretty horrifying. So if you like that sort of thing, this is the dance practice for you.
It's really incredible how I just don't even get Chunla when I see that. Like, I do because like I know, and like he's got that personality to be able to pull that off. But it's Pennywise.
Yeah, it's Penny, and like I love the balloon, the addition of the
Yes.
balloon. It's classic. It's so good.
Yeah. So along the same year, I will just, while I'm there, recommend NCT 127's regular Halloween dance practice as well.
That one, yeah, that one's a little much for me. Like some of the costumes are a little bit like, oh wow, they went that far. And I know I said I loved it with cues, but like, I don't know, man. They're just wow. So if you like shocking content,
Yeah. So what dance practice do you want to recommend? I have a lot more, but I feel like I'm, just recommending too many in a row.
Okay, so one group with a couple of different costumed dance practice is Monsta X. And their earliest one is Monsta X Hero. Now this one, they're all just wearing vampire costumes, and so it's just like capes and stuff. They have a little bit of a cool thing with the selectively desaturated red vibe, but that's not really what we're here to talk about today. That one's just sort of like classic Halloween. Had to mention it. Let's talk about instead maybe Fantasia, because that one has got some funny costumes. I didn't want to keep saying costumes, but I particularly like Shonu as the fisherman. Like usually, well, for this one and their other dance practice, the costumes can be very like uniform almost, like it's not really like a crazy costume, but I think Fisherman Shonu is funny. And then also they had the addition of T-Rex Hyungwon,
That is
which
the one.
is just really funny because it's always funny to see someone dance in one of those big inflatable T-Rex costumes. And I think if they had all been in stuff like that, it maybe would have been a bit overwhelming. But to just have everyone else wearing something normal and then like one person has to wear the giant T-Rex is pretty funny.
Yeah, that makes it better.
Yeah. I like when there's like one person with a way too big costume.
Yeah.
So that's the Fantasia.
Okay. I'm going to recommend the Blitzers Will Make a Mistake Halloween dance practice.
Wow, oh my god, so good.
It is really good. It's there. You have to watch the whole thing.
Yes.
If you're going to watch it. Like, don't just like tune in and be like, it's like, because it's ASMR, so like the song is really quiet. So if you're like, and this is not my thing, just, you gotta watch the whole thing.
Also, if you like ASMR, I don't really know if it's like the type of ASMR to be taken like oh, this is ASMR, yeah. But like it's part of the comedy aspect,
right?
This one is it's unique because it's not like funny and good necessarily because they're wearing costumes. It's just because of the dance practice. Like, it's for the content. You gotta watch it. It's so oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah. So I'm recommending that, and I will also recommend, I still have a lot more just in this dance practice category. I'm going to recommend Fromis 9. They have some pieces in the dance practice / like performance video category, and there's a Love Bomb Halloween dance practice, and there is a Talk and Talk Halloween video, and they're not really doing like, it's not a dance practice at all, but it's not a performance all the way either. So, but it's like kind of like the only one I'm recommending today that is that aesthetic of Halloween, because it's kind of like old-timey, ghostly, sort of like vampire. I don't know what they're exactly supposed to be, but like Victorian steampunk. Yeah.
Ooh,
so it's like that style. So it's really different compared to all the other ones, and I think it looks really nice.
That's fun.
Yeah. It doesn't really go with the song at all, which is always funny when it's like they're just doing their song that they had like to promote the most recently, but it's like so not Halloween vibe.
Okay. Well, in contrast to that, or maybe in the same way, I don't know. I'm going to finish up talking about Monsta X here with their other one that I would suggest, Monsta X Love Killa, which I'm suggesting for the people that would like to maybe partake in a little bit of the Halloween aspect, but they don't really like Halloween very much. Because this one is very toned down. It is, like I said with the other one, kind of like a lot of them are more like a uniform. This one I feel like is even more so that there isn't anyone that really has a crazy one. I do like, once again, Shonu and Hyungwon the best out of the costumes probably. Shonu being a pilot and Hyungwon being a like a horse rider person. Like he looks like he's from Horseland. And so their costumes aren't like super funny, super scary, super crazy. They're not even really like a character reference. But, you know, if you're just like, oh, I'd like to see them maybe dressed up in something different, in some different outfits, but I don't actually like costumes very much, then maybe this dance practice is for you.
Yeah, okay. I thought I had one that was like that, but I guess I have seen those, but I didn't bring them to offer up as a recommendation today.
Yeah, because they're not super, it's not super like, wow, Halloween.
Should I recommend another one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to recommend DKZ's Beautiful Halloween dance practice then. Well, it was when they were donkeys, but, you know, DKZ. It's very, like, it comes with content pieces that I will recommend later, so stay tuned for that. But, like, I would tune in for Kyungyoon as Harley Quinn, and we had Chongmin as Chucky in The Boys Q, and we have Munich as Chucky in this.
I think I'm remembering it. I've got to rewatch that. I'm always here for a DKZ recommendation. Don't worry, we've got more of them to come. If you're looking for them, stay tuned. Well then, let's bring another like sort of Chucky or Chucky-esque iteration into the mix here. Because, you know, there's always going to be a couple of classic costumes that pop up over and over again. Chucky is one of them. BTS War of Hormone.
A very, very true classic.
Yes. This is one of those ones that it's not just a dance practice. It's not just in costume. It's also a little unhinged. And that's what we love to see. Ashuga, I believe, is like Chucky or, you know, Chucky adjacent at the very least. So that's funny, especially because he doesn't seem like the type that would dress up like that.
Yeah.
But I also like Jin's Jack Sparrow is pretty good in that. And V as the Joker is pretty unsettling. So that one's got a lot of good ones. That one's very makeup heavy. Like it's fun if you see one where it's like they're not just throwing on it like a costume, they like also got their makeup done.
Okay, well, I have two that are Harry Potter themed. For people that enjoy that, because that's always a popular choice at Halloween.
Potterheads.
So T by T does a Runaway Halloween version dance practice because, I mean, that song is like very Harry Potter. That one's nice because they're not just like wearing the outfits, but they have like
wigs.
No.
Wands?
The dance like practice room is decorated, so it looks extra Halloween. And then Gravity does a Harry Potter dance practice to their song Sunrise, so that one is like they really all look like they're going to Hogwarts.
Okay, I don't think I've seen that one. Well, I am getting to the end of my list here. I have 3 more to recommend. So, do you need to like, you know, intersperse a little more of yours or?
Okay, let me talk about the Wiki Miki recommendations I have, and one of those is actually not a dance practice, and it's not exactly a performance video, much like the From Us 9 one, except it's not like that at all. It's completely different. But I didn't know where to put this in our categories that we've created. So it's a fan cam from a fan sign. So, like, I think you could get different member fan cams of the Crush performance from November 3rd. So it's actually after Halloween, but 2018. So look up Wiki Crush and then that date, and you can see their costumes, and it's pretty good.
Okay. Every once, I mean, some people probably say this is always happening, but every once in a while you get a really classic costumed like fan con dance thingy-mabobber, like Eric White for Christmas time. Like, you know, just, it's like there's no real place to recommend that sort of content, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like you gotta recommend it.
Yeah. And I'm also gonna recommend the 100 Facts, which is the cool English version song. They do their Halloween dance practice to that as Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and there is also some behind content that is included in the video.
Interesting. Very interesting. Because I can recommend a Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs dance practice that also has some behind content included in the video. And that's from BTS with Go Go. This is probably the first the first costume dance practice I ever saw. Honestly, is this the first dance practice I ever saw?
No. There's no way.
I mean, maybe. But yeah, basically we've got Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but it's BTS, and basically the best / funniest part is their shoes keep falling off.
Oh yeah.
So that's fun. Another BTS one that is good as well would be 21st Century Girl. Now this one is got that classic too big of a costume vibe, so people keep getting smacked by someone, which is really great. And also it's like there are actually there are like 3 people with encumbering costumes.
Yeah.
And so it's really funny because everyone keeps bumping into everybody else, but also Jin's costume just in general is pretty hilarious because it's one of those ones that like makes it look like they have legs that are not their legs. But like I feel like from certain angles at certain points in the video, you're like, oh my god, that literally looks like it looks like a person and another person, you know, or like I don't want to spoil it necessarily.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes those costumes don't translate very well, but then other times, like if you hit it at just the right angle, you're like, oh my god, I see it.
Yeah.
So that one's pretty funny too.
Yeah, that one's always, you know, the BTS ones are very classic.
Yeah, definitely.
I will recommend my last 2 now, just to finish up for my end of the dance practices. And they're kind of both a little bit, again, not the classic dance practice. So I'm recommending GFriend's Apple version of, it's like a relay dance.
Oh, okay.
More like. So I recommend it to see their costumes.
Ooh,
because
okay.
I think they're really like, well,
Pretty?
at least some of them have ones that are done really well. What did you say?
Oh, I said pretty?
Oh yeah, well one of them is like really pretty.
Oh, okay.
And they're like all kind of, well yeah, I don't really want to spoil it because it's like one of them to me is really stand out.
Ooh, okay.
And then ATEEZ, I'm going to recommend their performance video of the Black Cat and Arrow. Just because it is very Halloween.
Right. It's very stylized,
Yeah.
right? Like nice for the okay, nice. Well, my last one is honestly, I'm not actually that familiar with it. But I thought it would be a nice one to include. It's ITZY. Oh my god, actually I didn't even write down what song it's for. This is awkward.
Not Shy?
Is it? I just remember Leah's a big strawberry. And so I thought it was funny because she's, her costume's big.
Maybe that one is Wannabe or something.
I was leaning towards Wannabe.
Okay.
I should have checked, guys. I'm sorry, but I just, at the last minute, I just threw it in there because I was like, no, you know what? I remember her being dressed as a big strawberry, and I remember that being funny. But, I mean, it's not going to be that hard to find.
Yeah.
It's the dance practice and just look for the big strawberry.
Yeah. Okay, so those are some good ones. That's a classic place to start if you want to delve into K-pop Halloween, because dance practices are ubiquitous. Now, should we recommend a couple music videos?
Sure.
Okay, so they're not necessarily going to be like for Halloween, but we think that these would be good to watch for the Halloween spooky season.
Exactly.
So I'm going to recommend Blitzer's Macarena.
Oh, perfect. Brilliant. Wonderful.
I mean, if you have been listening to BlushCat, if you have been following BlushCat on social media, you can go ahead and check our links in the description or see our handles at the end of this video. You will have seen the just overwhelming takeover that Blitzer's Macarena has had. And so if you haven't checked out the video yet, this time of the year would be a great time to do that, just because once you go watch it, you will understand why.
Yeah, it's perfect. Like, if you wait until wintertime, you're gonna regret it.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just feel like winter would be the worst season to watch this in. Not that any season's actually bad. But sometimes, like, you know how sometimes you're watching a show and it gets to the Christmas episode and you're like, I have to stop.
Yeah.
I literally can't watch this right now. It doesn't make sense. Well, or like you're like, I'll just watch it now anyway. It's like, it's not the best, right? It's not the best.
It's like watching NCT Dream Candy in the wrong season.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, eh.
Yeah, like fall. Yeah, not that you should stop watching Blitzer's Macarena in the wintertime. You definitely shouldn't.
Right.
But I'm just saying, especially if you're going to watch it like fresh, like for the first time, like do it in the best season possible, Halloween time.
Right.
You're welcome. From Ubiquity.
And also watch NCT Dream Candy whenever. I know that we certainly do.
Yeah, we watch both of those all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Good recommendation. Oh wait, did you want to recommend more? Or?
You can go ahead.
Okay. I will recommend first and foremost the most classic Halloween song of our generation. DKZ Blockbuster.
True.
Now, if you can't tell by the title, it is a reference to Ghostbuster. And the song actually samples the Ghostbusters theme song. So obviously, the best time for this song is going to be Halloween time. But also anytime. Literally all of these, I would say listen to them all the time, because this sort of genre, this sort of vibe is one of my favorites. So like it has so many songs that I really like. But yeah, DKZ Blockbuster, so fun for the Ghostbusters vibes, so fun for the ghost on stage,
Yeah.
like even though it was promoted during the summer, they've got some stages where the backgrounds are Halloween. But yeah, no, the music video itself is like a horror movie sort of reference even.
Yeah.
So very fun for Halloween.
Mm-hmm. And if you are curious, listen to our DKZ origin story episode, and we talk about Blockbuster in that.
Absolutely.
I'm going to recommend the only other one that really came to mind when I was getting my recommendations together, and that is SHINee's Married to the Music video.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, very...
And, like, Married to the Music video.
Married to the music video. That's funny. It's very... I feel like there's a... I feel like that's like a style. Like, the way that they are dressed. I don't know what it is, though. I guess it's also kind of like gothic steampunk, but it's not like old-timey. I'm thinking of the game BioShock, if I try to think of the way that they're styled for that. I know that is definitely steampunk, and they're not just steampunk, but they've got like spiky hair and like stripes on, right?
I don't remember
Maybe.
stripes. Their hair is like different.
I haven't seen it that much, so I really shouldn't even be trying to give my opinion, but I don't know.
It's like it's like a reference, but I don't know what you would call the style.
I feel like the style is something that people would like that's like a certain type of Halloween-esque style. Maybe like Beetlejuice. Like
yeah, it's like that sort of era.
Spiky hair and stripes.
Referencing. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Well then, if you like that, guys,
it's good. It's classic.
It is. It's pretty classic.
But just like if you watch the stage performances, those are really great, and I really enjoy those stages. But like the music video is actually like, you know, spooky a little bit. So, okay, what other videos do you have to recommend?
Well, okay, so I couldn't leave any of these out because, like I said, I like them all so much. But it's kind of just a big grab bag of like darker concept ones that I feel like when you want those like spookier songs to listen to at Halloween time, you can listen to these. So we've got N-Bite Me, which is vampire themed, so I guess you would say even more Halloween-esque. And then Drunk Dazed, which I guess is werewolf themed a little bit, so also fitting. But those ones are both pretty fun. Music videos, nice and dark. We also have Yena Wicked Love. We've talked about it before on the podcast. Kind of like a Britney Spears era of vibe, but nice and dark and like got that doll like spookiness to it. Another top tier one that I'm really loving. This is probably going to be one of my most listened to ones for the month. Kong Daniel, Paranoia. What a great one. Very nightmarish and haunting in the music video. We also have Wavy Phantom. Dare I say more, or have you already gotten the idea? Phantom. Then we have Dr. Bebe, which we just talked about last episode on the podcast, guys. If you want to hear us talk about Pentagon and music videos like Dr. Bebe, go check that out. That's got some darker vibes. And then lastly, probably the least dark of all, but I think a popular costume choice for some people, we have Itsy Cheshire. A lot of people like to bring in Alice in Wonderland back around Halloween time, and this has those sort of creepy, Cheshire Cat vibes. So I'm liking all of those for Halloween time. So if you're like, well, costumes are great and all, but I would like my Halloween to be elevated a little bit to just vibes and not like trick-or-treating, then maybe check out some of the music videos that we've listed.
Yeah, those are all great recommendations. I definitely am feeling like Paranoia and Wicked Love are really like big ones for me this time around as well. Just really good songs in general.
Yeah.
And yeah, just the G-Friend costume that I really like, if somebody was curious, is the one that is like Alice in Wonderland.
Ooh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So let's recommend some songs. I personally don't have any specific ones that I was like, I'm going to list, because I would have just ended up being too repetitive or maybe listing too many. So I am just going to direct everyone to the BlushCat Spooky / Halloween playlist that is available on the BlushCat Spotify. And you can use the short link that's in the description to get to our Spotify profile. And you can find that playlist and save it. And it has many of the songs that Devin was just talking about the music videos for. And it has, some of the ones we talked about earlier. Probably has all of them almost that we've talked about. And yeah, so you can get a lot of vibes from that.
Yeah, I think that might be one of, if not my favorite playlists so far from BlushCat. It's just got so many great songs in it that I just love so much. And this might be controversial and or weird and or completely based on personal taste, and so actually not that controversial at all if you just recognize it's personal taste of a statement to make. But I kind of feel like when groups do like the darker concept like this, the songs are like always good. Like they don't make it be like a sort of like a throwaway song is not the right way to put it. But like sometimes when I hear a group come out with a song and I think it's just like basic, you know, I'm like, okay, there was nothing special there. And it might just be my personal preference against that type of music and towards this type of music. But like I always feel like whenever people do like the darker concept, I just think it's like, wow, like you hit this one out of the park. It's probably purely my preference.
I think it is just your preference, because I tend to think like that's where it could be a little bit like it just seemed a little basic this time.
Okay, well if you have
I mean, not any of the ones we're talking about.
Right.
Like, but
if you've grown to learn my like personal taste through listening, then just know that a lot of the songs on the playlist that we've just recommended, or if you know my personal taste from what I've said and you think, oh, I too have that personal taste, then I'm saying you'll like this playlist. I didn't really have much here. I kind of only have one song, but I can throw in a second one. Die For You. It's by Pentagon. And as far as I know, there isn't really content to go with it. So it's kind of just a song. But I love it. It's so good. Ever since I first heard it, I thought, wow, this song is incredible. But it's, you know, it's just a B-side. So, you know, that's all there is to it. And yeah, I don't have very many recommendations like this because I end up not listening to very many B-sides. And so I don't end up seeing very many songs that don't have content. So this other recommendation I'm going to give is going to seem a little odd because there is content for it and there is a music video for it. But I don't know if it's necessarily that Halloween or dark, but it is technically kind of like included, and so I'll just say it now, I guess, because like mainly it's the song. Lupin by DKZ.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like it doesn't have a super Halloween or dark concept with the music video or anything, but the song itself I think is nice for Halloween time. So maybe it's more fitting to like say it in this category.
Vibes, I mean, it's in the playlist. Like I think the vibes of everything are kind of like good to listen to for the season.
And it's got prop choreography, guys. So go watch it. It's got magic tricks. So go watch it.
Okay.
That's all.
Let's now move on to stage performance recommendations, because a lot of the times when people are promoting, they'll be happening to promote around Halloween. And so music shows will have like special Halloween stages. Sometimes like it will be like a cover performance, or the group will just be promoting their regular song but in costume. And so I will start by recommending Pentagon's Daisy stage from Music Core, which was on Halloween of 2020. And I really enjoy it. It's like the vampire style again, also sort of gothic, Victorian, and I just, in general, it's a really good performance, and Daisy is a really good song, so I recommend it.
That's a good one. I recommend that as well.
That's
my recommendation.
I'm also recommending Pentagon's Gorilla stage on Music Bank from October 28th, 2016, and that one is like I forget what it's called, like what they're stylized as, but it's not the same stylization as Daisy at all.
Not like high class isn't the right wording, but you know, like the Daisy one is like still looking like stage outfits, but also we're vampires. Are you saying the gorilla one is more costume?
No.
Okay, so it's also high class.
Yeah.
Why can I not think of a better word? Okay, but it's just a different like style of fashion.
Right.
Okay.
So did you not have any except Daisy?
I think sometimes I block these types of things out.
Uh,
Like I definitely have seen them, but I think I selectively forget about them because sometimes I think they're a little cheesy maybe. Like I like the costumes for the dance practices because I feel like it's supposed to be cheesy. But then sometimes on the stages I think it's too much. I think it all harkens back to seeing One Direction as vampires on X Factor clip, and like so anytime I see people like with like just a little bit of extra makeup to make them look spooky, I'm like, oh no.
Okay.
Even though obviously like Pentagon's was 1,000 times better executed than that, you know, like, but it's like a little bit, you know, it's got a bad memory for me,
Okay.
maybe.
Well, I have some more to recommend. So I'm recommending the boys' Whiplash stage on M Countdown.
Oh wait, that one's good. That one, it's costumes,
Yeah,
but
it's actually
it's cute. It's good.
It's like it's what they wanted to be when they were younger. So it's from October 29th, 2020, and that it's like fun because Whiplash isn't like a spooky song at all. But they're dressed in costume, and I'm recommending From Us 9's cover actually of FX Red Light on M Countdown, October 25th, 2018. And that one is like not super Halloween stylized or anything, but it was clearly for Halloween, and it's like darker. And okay, also Wiki Miki had a cool stage on M Countdown October 29th, 2020, and that's the same day as the boys' Whiplash one, so you can go ahead and watch those both at the same time. That one, I really actually like the styling of it. Like, they could have just dressed like that if they wanted to for the for the styling. So it's not like super Halloween, but it's nice.
You can imagine the two groups backstage on that day, all walking around in their costumes, and being like, "Oh, you guys are dressed for Halloween too."
That's so fun to think about.
Yeah.
Okay, I am also going to recommend WJSN. There is a WJSN Chokomi Humph performance on Music Core on Halloween 2020. And that one is like, you know, Chokomi goes all out with the costumes. So this one, they go all out. So it's very Halloween.
And not to be confused with Pentagon's Humph.
Right.
This is like Humph, right? Like there's no you.
Yeah. And WJSN Save Me, Save You on the show, October 16th, 2018, it's not like Harry Potter in the way that Gravity and T by T were Harry Potter, but it's like, you know, generally speaking, it's like a Harry Potter kind of. They've got like long robes on.
Wizards.
It's wizards, yeah.
But not wizards that wear like star cloaks.
Yeah.
You know, like blue and silver.
Yeah. And that song is kind of like, it's magical sounding. So I enjoy that. And the last stage performance that I'm recommending today is probably my favorite because they do go all out.
Ooh,
and
okay.
It's not just like they put on some blood makeup or something.
Oh, I know what it's going to be.
And Splitzers will make a mistake.
Okay.
So I recommended the dance practice of that where they weren't in costume, but this they definitely are. And that's on Music Core October 30th, 2021. And I just, I really enjoyed the styling for that.
Yeah, that one gives me like theater vibes. Like a Broadway production or something, you know, level of costuming. It's not like music show level of costuming or like Halloween level of costuming. I feel like it's like stage makeup, you know? Like
I think cool. That they did a really good job, and it's exactly like precisely the kind of thing that I want people to be bringing to the table for Halloween stage performances.
Wow, okay, everyone, you heard it here. Take after Blitzers. You're gonna miss out.
It's really good. The styling was really good.
On point.
Okay, So, the last thing, like the last category we have for everyone today is the content recommendations.
Yeah, so these are just general, like, videos where people are, doing like an entertainment show type thing or something like that. It's not music related. It's more about the content.
Right. So, do you want to share a recommendation?
Sure. Why don't we start with a classic? Run BTS episode where it's episode like 28 or something. It's definitely in the 20s, I think. It's very close to the one that was my favorite one, which is episode like 31 or 32, but it was right before it. So it's got to be like 28 or something like that. It's easy to find. The BTS one where they go to Everland at nighttime and are like mobbed by the zombies, and then they do sort of like an escape room-esque thing, but there's like actors acting as zombies throughout the whole thing. Very funny. Everyone is very scared, and so it's just classic for Halloween time.
It is a very good run episode.
Yes.
I am going to get my recommendations out of the way that I actually I wanted to mention, because I mentioned something else like related. Well, one of the things is kind of not related, but like I can't exactly recommend them, but I'll be tuning in this year.
Okay.
So Gravity had a record behind the scenes video of their sunrise dance practice that I recommended because that's Harry Potter. But I didn't know Gravity when it was released, so I didn't watch it, and I didn't want to, since it's I wanted to wait until Halloween to watch it.
Okay, right.
But so it's, there is a behind of the dance practice that I recommended earlier. And they also have a 2021 Happy Halloween Liar game video. Ooh. So that they're in costume for that as well, which I will want to watch. And I think it will probably be good because Gravity content is generally pretty funny. And the other thing that is in that bracket, I haven't watched the entire second Donkey Town Halloween Party V Live, but they did do that, and there is an on air, so that's a shorter, more easily consumable piece of content, and it's the behind the scenes of the V Live. But that has Kyungyoon dressed as a Coco character, and Jaechon is a Grim Reaper, and Jonghyun is Sadness from Inside Out. So I would just go check out their costumes, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like Kyungyoon as a Coco character, for some reason the stature just seems like it would be so fitting. I can picture it already.
Yeah, the costumes are pretty good.
Wow, okay.
I'm also, just while I'm talking about DKZ, gonna recommend the Donkey Town Halloween Party videos. There's a part 1 and a part 2, and that's when the beautiful dance practice was filmed. So they're in those costumes, and they have a trickster with missions, and they play games.
Okay, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
A little trickster. Okay, so I have really just one other content piece, but I feel like you're gonna recommend that, so I'll just wait. And then I have two other things that I don't think they're at Halloween time, and they're not really even content pieces, but I feel like I want to mention them just because it's people in costumes that is really shocking / funny.
Okay.
So I'll bring them up. One of them being Monsta X, when they were filming the teaser for Monsta X-Ray season 3, I think they put costumes on, and Joo Honey's some big bird with a long neck. and like someone
Oh,
else is like a slinky dog or something. It's crazy.
that thing scared me so much.
they, they are really really kind of horrifying to look at, the costumes. But so if you really like, it's really funny to just see like, oh my god, like what am I looking at sort of vibes. But I don't think it was for Halloween or anything. I think it was just kind of like as one of those funny because it's so like bad sort of things. Someone is a giant watermelon slice. Like it's wild. But it's just a tiny little, like, it's a chunk of one of their episodes or something where they're filming for the next teaser for the thing. So like it's a content piece, but like it's kind of, I don't know.
It's kind of just something random that's
Yeah.
not like, it's not really like sit and watch this whole program.
Right, yeah. But if you want to see some crazy costumes and that are really funny, then go check that out.
Okay. Well, I will recommend the boys content pieces. They have one that's in that similar vein, and it's the Maverick Halloween dance practice trailer. So it's like them just standing there, and you get to see all their costumes, but they're not doing the dance practice yet. So it's funny though, because they are like getting a moment to be their character.
Ooh.
So yeah. And then the boys, during the Steeler era, they did a mafia game in their Halloween costumes, and that is really funny.
Did you have any other The Boys content?
No.
Am I thinking of the wrong group that did this content? Or because I had
I'm
one
not
other
sure.
thing to recommend and I thought you were going to say it, you know, that whole thing I said like 2 minutes ago.
Mhm.
I thought it was The Boys, but maybe I'm remembering it wrong.
Mm.
There was content from someone, like a group, where they went into a place like to get scared. Like it was, you know, like, oh, today what you guys are going to do is you're going to walk into this abandoned place at nighttime. And everyone was like hiding in the rooms. And then they had to wait for like,
Yeah, the boys does
it,
that.
it is The Boys. Okay.
Yeah.
I would recommend that
Okay,
because
that's
I
a good
thought
one.
that that was really funny. I've seen a couple of instances of groups doing that sort of thing. Like, I remember we mentioned ZB1 do something similar to that
Oh, right.
in Camp ZB1. But like,
And like
this,
17.
yeah, I thought 17 had done it as well. But this one with The Boys really stood out to me. Like, it was the one that I remembered the most as being like having some really funny moments because of the way that the people were acting.
Yeah.
So I would recommend that for like if you want to watch some horror content.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think it's around Whisper era.
Ooh, okay.
So just so you know, I don't remember what it's called though. But the Mafia game is really funny because if you liked Q as Angry Bird in the dance practice, you're gonna love Q as Angry Bird while they're just playing the Mafia game, and Juyeon as Woody, and there's really funny dynamics going on, and Eric's costume is pretty good too though. So yeah.
I'm remembering that now. That is funny.
Yeah.
Oh god. I don't know what's funnier, seeing people dance their choreography in a costume that is like, you know, not fitting and like looks funny, or if seeing people just like existing normally and like talking normally and stuff, but they look so completely like something else. Like, both of those things are just so funny. Like, I love just seeing the people dressed up in their costume is really good, but they're just like, you know, I'm just talking. Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah. So you don't have any more recommendations?
I have one more like
Okay.
cheap costume thing.
Okay.
Um it's really obscure, can be difficult to find. Like, you can find it on YouTube. But it's 101 okay 101.
Oh.
It's like behind the scenes content of when they dressed up in costumes for some sort of fan con or something. And so yeah, you have to search OK 101 and you'll see costumes, the likes of Ha Sung-woon dressed as Elsa, Park Ji-hoon dressed as Anna, and just some other, Edward Scissorhands, Olaf, little Match Boy. Like it's really like it's just the way that's kind of like what I was just talking about. People just sort of existing, but they're wearing a costume that makes them look like so different or so ridiculous.
It's so
That's
funny.
what that is. So yeah, in no way was it related to Halloween. I don't think it was literally just it's content of people in costumes, but it's just a good laugh to see their costumes and see how crazy they look, but how normal they're acting, and you're like, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop acting like this while you look like that.
It's really funny. I really, yeah, that's a good recommendation. My last recommendations are all from NCT. And
oh wow, they have
honestly,
a lot, don't
they do have a lot. Because, SM always has the Halloween parties, and so they really go all out. And honestly, they might be a little shocking for some people. So I'm not sure like the level that I'm going to recommend them. But the 2018, like NCT 2018 Happy Halloween Eve video is really a classic video. It's, it's got the shocking elements. It's got the funny elements.
Is that the one with the crafting?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is the one where they're all in the old practice room and they like come out and dance. So it's the time when like Chunla Pennywise and like Ten as Mona Lisa, Rose and Jack. Those are some highlight points, and it's just very interesting content. And then so there's a behind for that I'm recommending because honestly it's pretty funny. So it's like, behind the Halloween NCT 2018 preparing for Halloween. And I believe that has the Tae-il funny parts with Postman Tae-il, and it's just
pretty much everything that I can think of in relation to that year specifically at SM Entertainment for Halloween is too shocking for me.
Yeah. Well, the making Halloween treat bags video is maybe the crafting that you were thinking of.
Probably.
So it's like Manito style. We're gonna fill these like pumpkins with candy for the other NCT members. So that's from 2021. There are some shocking costumes in that as well.
Definitely.
You can go check that out. That's very long form like Halloween content because there are like behinds for that, and then there's like the making of the treat bag, and then there's the people receiving the treat, like the pumpkins. So there's a lot from that year and the costumes.
Like SM Entertainment's content, I guess, across the board is always just a little much for me because the songs and the groups I tend to not get as much, but like I wish that more groups gave as much for Halloween time as they are, because besides the fact of their content being just a little too shocking for me to partake in, I am actually like, I love that they go that far,
Yeah, me too.
I love how far they go with the styling. It's just that at the same time I'm like, my eyes.
Yeah.
But it's like,
and we have Shiny to thank.
Oh, okay, yeah. So if maybe some other companies would go that far, but like not that far, but like so that I had something more, because I don't watch that stuff, but I see it and I'm like, wow.
Yeah. So those conclude our recommendations for this year. And if you enjoyed hearing our recommendations, you can like this video and subscribe to the BlushCat channel on YouTube and turn on notifications. And you can leave a comment sharing if you do enjoy these recommendations and maybe drop some of your own recommendations in the comments. Because honestly, we've seen a lot of K-pop Halloween content. There are recommendations from other groups that we could have given, but we just didn't bring those today. But, just feel free to recommend some other things that you enjoy.
Yeah, and there's some groups that are a little more new to us right now, so maybe we haven't found their content yet, but we have talked about them in other capacities, but we haven't found their Halloween stuff yet. So there's, that as well.
All right.
Let us know.
So you have some time to, consume all of these recommendations, all of this content, and so just go ahead and do that, and then maybe you can even come back to this episode and then comment what recommendations we gave you that you enjoyed.
And you say, wow, thank you for making my Halloween season just that much better, that much spookier. I was going to say that much brighter, but we should actually be making it darker.
Yeah, and don't forget you can be making it spooky all the time with the BlushCat playlist playing in the background. So that's it for today.
Thank you guys so much for listening today and next episode. You're going to come back, right? Thanks.
This has been Ubiquity.
And me. Bye.
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.